If you would like to have your query letter critiqued, but you do not want to pay to have that happen, it can be done for free. It just will be public out here on my socials. My name is Gina. I am an author, editor, publishing professional. I help you make your writing better. Housekeeping things, if you would like to submit, the link on how to do so is in my bio. If you do not want to wait in line, I am trying to pull up query letters that are doing something different than what we have talked about before. You can purchase my querying class, which is linked down below. That is $30 for 3.5 hours of content. And then there is a real live person on the other side of this query letter. They have chosen traditional publication. We're going to let them make their choices and be happy with those choices. And we are going to be constructive in our criticism, not destructive, because we're all on a journey. We are all learning together. Let's dive in. So completed 122,000 words. Its debut is a standalone with serious potential. Smart, independent female lead will suit fans of The Bone Shard Daughter by Andrea Stewart, while the slow burn romance is perfect for fans of One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. Personalization. Okay. Word count is touch over that 100,000 words, but if this is adult and fantasy, I assume in here, yeah. So maybe that got cut off in the image here, but I do, if I remember, this is a fantasy. Yeah, I'm seeing a bunch of like fantasy stuff here. Okay, so fantasy, adult fantasy, that's not crazy long. That is within the realm of possibilities. So we're going to go ahead and say that that's good. When Erin watches the woman she loves enter a goddess's tomb, her world shatters. As decreed by the elders, all members, this is world building stuff, all members of their veil-dwelling race must face the tomb's trials, and like many, Erin's beloved doesn't return. Broken by grief, Erin hunts for a way to destroy the elder's reign. A mysterious flame guides her to a secret archive. This all sounds a little accidental, where she finds proof the elders have been manipulating memories, erasing rebellions. But the archive won't let its contents leave in any form. The flame leads Erin on to the last living dragon. So this sounds... it sounds kind of accidental, like she's stumbling along a path rather than like doing anything on purpose. The dragon vows to help Erin overcome the archive's magic if Erin first stops the fool planning to unleash the dragon's greatest enemy. Who is the dragon's greatest enemy? Erin journeys into human lands, so Erin's not human. Was she human? Is she a veil-dwelling race? I guess that's not super clear on here. Meets Arlen, a lord who's feared magic since a mage tortured him and killed his family. He owns a book of prophetic dreams that hint at who Erin seeks. So this, again, sounds like coincidences. It also reveals the dragon's enemy is the being who killed the gods. Okay, so more world building. Maybe not. Maybe this is plot stuff. It's hard to tell, so let's keep going. Reeling from the revelation that the guy who killed the gods is the guy that wants to kill the dragon. Okay. Reeling from that revelation, Erin narrows her search while trying to ignore her growing feelings for Arlen. But a shadow from Arlen's past has other plans for her. He wants Erin to retrieve a sacred relic, and he's more than willing to torture Arlen to convince her. Okay. Erin must make a terrible choice. Escape so she can stop the rise of the god killer and get proof of the elder's crimes, or save Arlen by facing another goddess's tomb. That is, again, this happened in the last one that I was just looking at, so we have not connected all of the plot stuff to the stakes, to the question that you have put ahead of us here. So, how is this terrible choice tied to all of this stuff? So like, yeah, she's got some growing attraction to this guy, but why is torturing him, like why is saving him versus like saving all of humanity more important so far? That seems like you've either undersold this relationship, or we have posed a hypothetical that is really easy to answer. Like, of course she's going to save humanity. So when did facing another goddess's tomb become part of the question? That was never like given to us here. So you've given us a whole bunch of like stuff along the way. And then it was like, we have A and B and C and D. And if D doesn't happen, then Y and Z. And it's like, how did we get from D to Y? There's a whole bunch of steps in between that we don't have connected for us. And this is really common when we spend too much time looking at backstory and world building, because then the query letter starts to run long, and you know that it can't be more than a page long, can't be more than 500-ish words. And so it's like, this is getting really long, so I'm giving you all of the backstory and all of the cool world building stuff that I'm really proud of, and you should be proud of those things. But now I've run out of space, and so I know that I have to have stakes here, so I'm going to jump straight to the stakes. And you haven't done enough of the work of connecting this stuff to the stakes. So who is our main character? That is Erin. What is it that she wants? At first, we thought it was vengeance on her lover and to take down the government that killed this lover, but then it changes into the quest for the dragon, and then it changes into save the boy that she met in the Vale. Like, her goal has shifted too much over the course of this query letter for us to like know what it is, what is really prevailing, what's really important to her, what is standing in her way. A god killer is on the other side of this. So yeah, what happens if she fails? What is she willing to do to get it? So she's like going on quests, and she's willing to do dangerous things, but there's nothing like super specific that she's choosing to do. Like, a flame has led her to this place, and then the dragon sent her on a quest, and then the guy gave her the book. Like, so we have other people keep putting things in her path for her, and she doesn't feel like she's making any active decisions. Seems like she's just along for the ride. And then what happens if she fails? Like, life will continue on the way that it was, and that is, seems like occasionally somebody dies in this goddess's tomb, but she's going into the goddess's tomb, so now we believe that maybe that goddess's tomb is not death, that it really is maybe just like takes you someplace else, does something that we weren't expecting. So you have sort of like undercut the vengeance that was at the top here by saying that she's going to go do this for herself. We're not connecting the dots in a clear enough way. We are not making these stakes clear enough to the average reader. And so this ends up feeling like, okay, well, she's gone on a quest. And I don't know why this quest is going to end up mattering, because it seems like she's just sort of wandering. So if this god killer is going to be really important to the overall story, they could get a name, they could get a title of some kind. Even just calling him the god killer, it would be enough. You have done a good job of avoiding like the proper noun soup that comes with a lot of science fiction and fantasy novels, where you have just like lots and lots of names of places and people. And so, but I feel like we've drawn it back maybe a little bit too far. We can have more than just Erin and Arlen. We can have more than just that in here. Especially again if this god killer is really super important to the overall stakes here. So make sure that the camera is focused on this character and what it is that she wants, and make sure that it sounds like she is making proactive decisions. She can start off sort of like being guided by the mystical flame and by the quest from the dragon, but eventually she needs to make an active decision, and not just like, are you going to sacrifice the guy that you met a couple of days ago in order to like do what the god killer is forcing you to do. So like those feel like false stakes. Like, she's being forced into this by some like super preternatural being, and it's some guy that she met a little while ago. So like, yeah, she's got a growing attraction to him, but like that doesn't seem strong enough to overcome all of this, other else is being put in front of her. So these stakes feel false, they feel a little bit hollow, they don't feel connected to the rest of the story, and she doesn't feel active enough.